Every day, trains must descend the steep El Cajon Pass down into the LA basin. On May 12th, a 9,000-ton freight train came up to the crest, tested its brakes, and headed down the grade.
Cajon Pass is a very steep grade. This is a dangerous area for railroad operations because the trains are so heavy that you have to make sure that you keep tight control over the trains with the braking systems and the dynamic brake systems on the locomotive to prevent them from running away.
I can't hold on. I can't hold on.
But somewhere near the top, the train lost its brakes. The train picked up speed. As it went faster and faster, the engineer radioed ahead for help. But the only thing to do was to hold on and ride it out and pray the train stayed on the tracks.
I'm going too fast. I'm going too fast.
But those prayers weren't answered. The train was going 105 miles an hour when it hit a curve near the base of the mountain. People were still having their breakfast when the train jumped the tracks, plowed down the hill, and careened into their backyards. The locals had worried about just such a disaster. Now their worst fears had come true. These three men look like ants as they stand by the cars. The train's sand-like cargo is thrown over everything, burying what hasn't been crushed. In all, 69 train cars derailed into the neighborhood, along with all 6 of the train's locomotives. House after house is wiped out by the force of the cars that careened off the track. The wreckage just keeps on going. Finally, a block away, the locomotives lie smoldering. Firefighters and rescuers couldn't believe what they saw.
Train wrecks are so devastating because of the energy involved. A moving train has so much energy that has to be dissipated. And when it wrecks, all that energy ends up in destruction and jackknifing of the individual cars.
Special dogs were called in to find the survivors. Rescuers dug through the wreckage to find the injured, and people were pulled from this rubble that minutes before had been their homes. Ironically, the massive wreck was caused by a clerical error. The crew didn't know the real weight of the train. Making things even worse, the brakes on 3 of the 6 locomotives hadn't worked. It all added up to disaster. But unimaginably, things got even worse. The train had derailed on an underground gas pipeline. While the cars didn't break the pipe, the heavy equipment used to clean up the mess did. The gas leaked, and 13 days later exploded. The same neighborhood where the train crashed is now engulfed in this firestorm. 11 more houses were destroyed in the blast. But the pass wasn't through with disaster.